Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm going to be comparing all four Thanos big figures that LEGO has created since 2016. I'm not including the minifigures in this video because we are getting another minifigure version of Thanos actually just this fall in October. So I'll be doing a full comparison with the minifigures probably around Christmas time, but for now I just wanted to take a look at the big figs because the previous Thanos figures from Infinity War and Endgame were desperately crying out for an upgrade, and they finally got one in 2021. Before that, though, we're going to start with the original. This is the very first LEGO Thanos that the company ever made. We got this in 2016 in the Avengers Space Mission set, and I believe this was the cheapest way to get Thanos ever, because that set was only $60, while every other set that a Thanos Big Fig has come in was $70 or more. This figure is, in my opinion, the second best Thanos because this mold was created just for him, just for the comic book version. He has a lighter purple skin tone than the subsequent figures, and I just really like this guy. He's very simple, but I mean, the comic book costumes are more simple than the Endgame and Infinity War ones, and I just think he looks really good with this combination of pearl gold and dark blue. Now you'll see on his feet he is wearing booster rockets. These were included with the set, and so I've always kept them with him, but you can just take these off his feet really easily. They're just, little brick built additions. These pieces are super old, so like you can kind of hear them creaking and like cracking. But these had stud shooters on the side and like pink boosters, so I thought that these were a nice little addition to him, even though this version of Thanos did not have the Infinity Gauntlet. Next up, we've got Thanos from the Thanos Ultimate Battle set in 2018 for Infinity War, and this is without a doubt the worst version of Thanos, which was sad for, the movie that really put the spotlight on him. I don't think the torso printing is that great. It's good in quality. I just don't really think it's anything special. I did not like this face print. He was so weirdly angry. Also, his eyes are too comic-y in my opinion. They don't look scary enough. I think. I don't know. It's just, it's a nitpick, but I don't like it. I don't like the printing on the helmet. I think that looks super dumb because he's using the exact same comic book mold. That makes no sense. Thanos in the MCU looked nothing like Thanos in the comics, and so the fact that LEGO couldn't make a new mold for the biggest MCU villain ever was just really, really sad, and I honestly don't even know how they got away with it. Because this looks nothing like how he's supposed to look. He was bald in that movie. He didn't wear a helmet, and I just hate this big fig, honestly. He had a sword. He did not use a sword in Infinity War, and when he did use a sword in Endgame, it was dual-bladed. And again, you have the sleeveless look, but they weren't willing to make a new mold to have him be bald, and that was just really dumb. He did come with the Infinity Gauntlet, though. It did not have all the stones. It only had the Reality Stone. I filled this out with some other ones, but this was a fantastic new piece, and I was really pleased with how LEGO did this. Subsequent versions of Thanos haven't always come with the gauntlet, but the one in the Endgame Final Battle set did. This is the minifigure from the Endgame Final Battle set, and now this was a good Thanos. I really like this face print a lot more because, again, the Infinity War one was so angry. I don't know why, because Thanos was a very calm and collected presence in that entire movie. So I think that this is a lot more fitting. The face looks so much better. As I pointed out before, this is a darker purple skin tone than the comic book Thanos. And I just like the printing in general on this one a lot better. Even though it's still using the same stupid comic book mold, which LEGO really shouldn't have kept reusing, the printing on the helmet was better, the printing on the torso was better, and he was, I think, the very first big fig to have arm printing. This really elevates the figure for me, because even though it still kind of looks sleeveless, you can't hide all those gaps. Thanos' armor in the movie is kind of gappy, but this is excessive. It still looks really good, and it helps him look more totally armored than, other versions of the character. He also had this hammer, which was inaccurate to the movie, but it's a nice build. Even though it spins around a lot, I think it looks good and it works well. But, the biggest problem with these comic book Thanos figures is that they can't move their arms because of that shoulder armor piece. So yeah, the Infinity War and Endgame versions were not winners, in my opinion. This version did come with the gauntlet, like I said. It had 2 stones this time, the Power and Time Stones. But yeah, this one was a major improvement on the Infinity War one. It still was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. The fourth and most recent Thanos Big Fig is by far the best. This version comes in the Endgame Final Battle set, which retails for $70, by the way. So did the Thanos Ultimate Battle. The figure, the Endgame figure, grab the wrong one for a second. The Endgame figure came in the Avengers Compound Battle, which was $100. But this one actually has a new mold. He actually has, like a double-bladed sword, but I'm going to move that out of the way so that we can look at the rest of the figure. And like I said, this is just a major improvement. For the first time, he's got printing like going down into his legs, which also looks better. Comparing him again to the Endgame version, he's got just a ton more detail. Like, this one wasn't bad, but this is just so much better in every way. And then, of course, he finally stopped using that stupid, outdated comic book armor mold, and he introduced brand new pieces for Bigfigs. So he's still using the same base body. Like, you can see, this is how LEGO makes all their Bigfigs. They use the exact same body, and then you just pop out like the upper like shoulder section, and you can like put in a new piece. That's what LEGO's done here. And again, a major improvement in every way, because he actually has a movable head. You can take that off and, switch it around with like minifigure heads if you want. So he can turn his giant bald head 360 degrees, which allows for a lot more movement. And then he's still got the usual arm rotation, except now it can move past his shoulders. So this Thanos is the best by far because he's actually accurate to the movies he appears in for once. Here are all four of them together again. I have put Infinity War Thanos at the back since he sucks. But these three are actually pretty good. Even though the Endgame one shouldn't have been using the comic book mold, at least they made it work a lot better than they did in Infinity War. And again, he was actually wearing armor in Endgame, so this was at least a little bit more justified this time around. But the new one, like I said, it's just an improvement in every way. It is finally the Thanos that we deserved to get back in 2019. And I'm really happy that LEGO finally gave him to us. However, I still think he could be improved. No arm printing, that's okay, because, Scarlet Witch tore his armor off of him, so that's fine. But I just think that he would be a lot better with those printed arms, and I will be making a video about that as well, so that you guys can see how to improve your 2021 Thanos figure. But let me know which one you guys like the best. Do you like the switch to like the darker skin tone from the 2016 Thanos? And which one you think is the worst? I think all of us will agree that it's Infinity War, but maybe there's someone out there who really loves that one. But that's it for today, so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.